Life Hacks Beyond Convention with Dee and Sonia. I haven't even edited the larger videos from last week yet because I was busy last week. So,
Yeah, and you weren't
yeah,
well either, so it was a double
no,
whammy.
yeah. So, I mean, Tuesdays I basically sometimes I stay doing this until 8:30 at night, stopping for dinner.
Yep, yep.
And Wednesdays, if I'm not doing anything else, I'll do a little bit in the morning or afternoon. And then Thursdays, I dedicate to it as well, and then see what's left on Fridays. So, but yeah. So last
Mm,
Thursday, I was busy, and so yeah. So
mm,
more of this. I don't know what else. Been
mm.
working on the diary this morning, planning things out. I've got to go to Piri Thursday, so chiropractor and a psychologist, and I'm buying the car, buying the Colorado off the company. I'm
So
buying the car off
yeah, you
me.
hadn't completely decided what you were doing.
Yeah, no, I'll do that. And I've got to book it in
Mm-hmm.
for a service and some other stuff. So
Mm.
that'll keep me busy and
For
more winding
income
up.
at the
And
moment, like you're
Hmm?
living. What are you
Sorry.
doing for income?
We're living on the leftover money from the house that was sold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because
it.
your
And
pension hasn't come through, has it?
it won't for a while if it does.
Mm.
And if it doesn't, the machinery was on auction last night, but then they changed the auction to Wednesday night. So that will put more money in the company. So if we do get knocked back, we'll have to take dividends.
Oh
So,
yeah,
we
yeah.
have to sit, if that happens, we have to sit with the accountant and work out how much in dividends to take till it wears down. There's money still in the business account, but we're also still using the accountant to wind things up, and we still have to pay regos on the machinery that is still owned and all this other
Oh
stuff,
yeah, okay.
insurances. There's
Mm,
not a lot of money left there either. So, um,
mm.
yeah, yeah. And I think that the across the board, the financial system of pensions and stuff will change in Australia. So I believe that the eventual plan will be that you will live on your assets. So you can get a reverse mortgage now on your
Mm.
house so that you mortgage it and you live on that money, and then they just keep charging you interest, and then when the house is sold that pays out the loan, which so if anybody's worried about their inheritances, there won't be any because there won't be any pensions as such. um
I heard
yeah, so
somebody
this
talking
is
about like the superannuation that we have here and how they were looking at when superannuation guarantee began and how many people have been contributing to that, and then when they'll start to be drawing from it. And they believe that there just won't be enough money to be
they
able
won't.
for everybody to be able to take their money out of the superannuation.
Mm,
So it's going to
yeah.
be interesting to see what happens because one of the good things about superannuation guarantee is that you are putting money away and it's up to 12% now. So that's a
Mm.
fair bit of money that you're saving out of every pay packet. And I'm not sure whether it's come in yet or whether it's just coming in, but they actually have to now pay that fortnightly, like with your pay run too, because you used to
Oh,
only have to pay it once a quarter, I think it was for the big places. Whereas, yeah, so I'm not 100% sure if it's come in, but I was reading recently where it's definitely, if it's not in, it's on its way in that they have to pay, the organisations have to
fortnightly.
actually pay it into our superannuation fund with our pay cycle, whatever our pay
Mm.
cycle is. So that's good because that means it'll actually compound quicker.
Yes, yes. Mm.
So that's a positive thing.
Yep.
However, if there's like what are the superannuation companies doing with the funds, and is it liquid enough for people to be able to draw on as they're going to be retiring? So I thought that was an interesting question that this person was, you know,
Mm.
hypothesizing, and
Yeah.
it's unlikely to affect me because because this is all a compounding effect as we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
But but for my children, and when they retire, which is, another 30 or 40 years away, will it affect them?
Yeah.
So in theory, they'll all probably have enough money to live on their own superannuation, but only if the money's liquid and they're able to get it.
Access it. And that's the thing. I think that's where they've been headed all this time, as far as
Mm.
how to manage it. What they did incorrectly, or I don't know what you'd call it. The advertising in my day when I was young, when they first brought it in, was you'll all retire at 55. And they showed pictures of people going off in yachts and living in staying in the Greek Isles and stuff like this. So there's a lot of people of my age group around the 65 to plus era that thought that they were going to retire at 55 really, really wealthy, because that's how it was promoted. And I've had a lot of people say, oh, we were supposed to retire at 55, and it just didn't happen. So, and it didn't happen because we had financial crises that superannuations schemes had invested in stocks and other things that crashed. So,
Well, and part of it is, when can you access it anyway? You can't even access your superannuation until you're 60. And even then, it's dependent on certain criteria.
yeah.
So I would actually find it a little bit difficult at the moment to access my super when I go 60, unless
Yeah.
I drop back in my work hours. Yeah, no, so I was going to say, so it's not as simple as, can I retire at 55? Well, you can only retire at 55 if you've got enough money in your bank account, because you can't use your superannuation to do that.
Yeah. And the other thing is, during COVID, they let people take money out.
I know, exactly.
And a lot of people that shouldn't have taken money out took money out,
Hmm.
and then are getting reassessed later. But also, if you didn't need to, people did it and bought bloody, room-sized TVs and crap like that. If you didn't need to, you should be leaving it there. So I know a couple of people
I
that
don't know. I've
when
got
this,
mixed thoughts about the whole superannuation thing. I, I'm very ambivalent about it, to be
yeah,
honest. One part of me thinks it's a really good thing because it is sort of something that's built in to help you to be able to manage your years when you get older. So, is that a bad thing? Not on its own. However, I look and think there are a lot of people that never reach that age. So
hmm,
therefore, they've got this money that's been put away that they were never able to access to help them live a better life.
yeah,
And I look and think, and the other thing is, I think, well, what? It's our money. Why shouldn't we be able to use it just however we deem we want to?
yeah. It's a real tough one, isn't it?
Yeah,
And I think similarly to you, um, yeah. And those that pass and don't get to use it, or it gets passed on and there's no spouse, the kids who
well,
inherit
exactly.
it get taxed. They get taxed. The only person that doesn't get taxed is a spouse.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mm,
Yeah. Well, that's my
yeah.
understanding. If I'm wrong, someone please tell me, but I'm pretty sure my understanding is
Mm,
that superannuation goes to the spouse, and then, yeah, if there is no
mm,
spouse, then it gets fully taxed, or taxed at a certain rate, probably
mm.
15%. Yeah. So it's a,
Yeah, so I have very mixed feelings about it. However, it is the financial situation that we live in Australia. If I don't want to be a part of that, I need to leave Australia. So, I do have
hmm,
choices,
yes.
and
Yeah.
it just is what it is. I'm actually at this point in my life where I'm so close to being able to access it. I would even consider putting extra in at the moment
Yep.
into my
Yep.
superannuation, because there are certain tax advantages to doing that. And I know that I can access it in the next 7 years.
Yeah. I'm
So,
retirement age
yeah.
already.
However, if I was only 35, I don't know that
Yes.
I'd be wanting to put any extra money into my superannuation, because you can't access it.
I wonder if you're allowed to run a self-funded. At what point are you allowed to run a self-funded super?
Well, you can
What
do a
age? Mm,
self-managed or self-funded.
self-managed, I probably mean.
Self-managed, yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
can set them up as a self-managed, but you still a self-managed. Just you're just managing where your investment, how your money's being invested, aren't you?
Yes.
You can't access it any earlier.
No, but you're making your choices on the investment strategy independently. I must
Well,
admit,
that's right. And if you do understand what you're doing, that's a good option for some people. Yeah.
yeah. With our advisor, she gets us to do a risk um, adversity type test
Mm,
prior to the next year's investment. So
mm,
they work out what your risk profile is in your brain. And ours has
mm,
changed over the years. When we were younger, it was high. Now we're older,
mm.
it's the low risk. And so, okay, you're going to earn less percentage, but you're more guaranteed. So that's a good strategy. And I'm assuming that's probably been bought in by the financial institutions um, to make sure
Well,
people are
for
happy with
mine,
what
I just
they
log in every now and then and I look at their different because you can change it between, like, so they've got certain risk profile investments
Yeah,
and you can swap them between. So I just swap it between every now and then. I'll swap it if I'm
yeah,
depending on what I feel like at the time. But at the end of the day, I just let them take care of it. It's like, yeah,
yeah.
I don't,
Mm.
I don't want to have to learn about that type of investment.
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah,
leave it to the professionals.
yeah.
And when I can access it, I will, and I'll spend
Mm,
it.
yep. Well, I
Spend my
haven't got
money.
very much. So I'm a
Me either,
year in.
really.
Yeah, I should have, in technically, I could have retired a year ago. Um, I didn't. And I don't have a desire to retire from a working life of some sorts, um, at least for myself. But I don't have a great deal. And that's just, former divorce. Yeah. Um, and a whole heap of other reasons. So I have so little that, yeah, as far as they say you need 500,000 to retire now, well, I'm nowhere near it. I might have 10% of that if I'm lucky. So I'm gonna work. Yeah. Um, how other people
Yeah,
manage, I
well,
don't know.
I'm pretty typical too in that I had many years out of the workforce. A lot of the years that I was in the workforce was self-employed and weren't on high income. Like the reason I
Mm,
was self-employed is so that I would be flexible and have time with my children, not so that I could build wealth.
mm,
So, yeah, and adding to my superannuation at that point wasn't a priority. So I didn't
yeah.
very often add to my super.
Mm.
Yeah.
They've
So
changed the
I'm the
rules
same.
around self-employment and they've changed the rules around contractors. So if you're employing contractors, you now have to pay super for them, which is a good thing because a lot of contractors are like me, won't have much in behind them. So yeah, they're covering the bases that have been missed.
What if
But
you're just self-employed though? Because I can see, like, because if I contract you, then you just build that into your price, don't you? It's very easy.
mm,
It's like, here's your hourly rate, here's your GST, here's your super. Like, it all just becomes part of the invoice, doesn't it?
yeah, sole
So
trader, I don't know.
I haven't looked at those
Yeah,
rules for 2 or 3 years since I last looked, to be honest.
yeah,
Because,
and we probably should because, like, I'm not making any money at the moment, but I
mm,
hope to, or I plan to. So I need to be aware of that. Well, until fairly recently, you didn't have to as a sole trader, I think. Or there was no, it
mm.
wasn't that you didn't have to, it was just that they hadn't even really, it hadn't entered the government's brain to think about it. Um,
Well, I
yeah,
can't
our
even remember because I
accountants,
do. Yeah, because when I was looking at it, I remember it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be for
mm,
superannuation as a sole trader.
yeah, Well, see, we have a discretionary trust and a company, and therefore we
Yeah.
are, while we're the directors, we're also employees. So we pulled a
Yes.
wage. So then
Yep.
we had to
Yep.
do it.
Which
So
means
we
that you
paid
contributed. Yeah.
work
Yep.
cover, the whole bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the only reason I've got any. But then because we're over 60, we were able to pay our personal insurance out of it, even though we were
Mm,
earning, that was allowed to come out of it, which was
mm,
interesting. And
mm,
because of our age, they put our insurance costs up ridiculously high. So
mm.
we were covered just for debt load, like we covered it personal insurance for debt load.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
yeah. And
Mm,
like Tony's went up to well, we cancelled it when this happened. They put it up to 20,000 a year to
mm,
insure him life
mm,
insurance. Yeah.
mm,
So that was just ridiculous. So I
mm,
was just going to pull 20 grand a year out of his super.
mm. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, that's how much it costs you to rent a house for a year. Well, that's a serious amount of
Yeah.
money, isn't it?
Yeah.